We start tonight in Washington.
Yeah, the government will shut down in about 2 hours. Lawmakers are at impasse on a spending deal as the president pushes for billions of dollars in border wall funding. The House and the Senate have both adjourned for the night. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, House Speaker Paul Ryan, both have left the Capitol, and the Senate set to return tomorrow at noon. In the meantime, the president trying to broker a deal. Karen Kafa is live for us tonight in Washington.
The White House sending a team to Capitol Hill this afternoon that included Vice President Mike Pence. They spent 5 hours there trading proposals back and forth with Senate Democrats. The sticking point here, of course, the money that the president wants for border security. Well, what we hear from a source is that the two sides remain pretty far apart on that number, but they are still talking. The negotiations continuing, even if it appears a government shutdown will not be averted tonight.
47.
After a dramatic day, the Senate adjourned Friday night without a deal to avert a government shutdown, but an agreement to keep working.
I hope Senate Democrats will work with the White House on an agreement that can pass both houses of Congress and receive the president's signature.
Lines of communication between key players did reopen in a last-minute effort. Early Friday afternoon, a government shutdown seemed inevitable. Senate Republicans returning to Capitol Hill after a meeting at the White House where the president reiterated he wouldn't budge on his border security demands.
We're totally prepared for a very long shutdown.
Later, the White House sent Vice President Pence, Budget Chief and incoming Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, and Advisor Jared Kushner to Capitol Hill to meet first with Senate Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer.
We are willing to continue discussions on those proposals with the leader, the president, the Speaker of the House, and the Leader of the House.
Thursday night, House Republicans furiously worked to pass a stopgap spending bill, extending government funding until February and adding $5.7 billion for a wall. The House also adjourned Friday night, waiting for the next move.
I am not bringing any bill to the floor that does not have the support of the president. Does not make sure they've got to make sure that it protects the border at the same time and make sure that the funds go.
So we are looking at a partial government shutdown about 2 hours from now, impacting about 25% of the federal government, impacting departments like the Department of State, Homeland Security, and Justice, and more than 420,000 federal workers who would be expected to stay on the job without pay until a shutdown solution occurs. Now, President Trump just a short while ago tweeting from his Twitter account a video in which he says he hopes the shutdown does not last long. Live in Washington tonight, I'm Karen Kafa. Now back to you.
Karen, thank you. In our coverage